Greetings and welcome. This is your friendly Electric Shmoo bringing another update to URLium 1.3. We have another set of updates to go ahead and release. It's been just barely a week since the last one, but I figured this is worth putting out as soon as possible. There's one critical bug fix for wall signs if you had an issue with wall signs. But other than that, we have some new features that I think are definitely worth given out to the public as soon as possible. So go ahead and like and subscribe or leave a comment and let me know exactly what you would want to see as a demonstration for this mod. But it's pretty much coming to the close of feature complete in terms of things that I want this particular mod to do. So go ahead and again give me some feedback or bug reports if anyone out there has any issues. And first, let's look at what that issue might have been. It turns out that a wall sign is a different thing than a standing sign. And as a player, you're probably saying, what are you talking about? They're the same thing. You just take a sign and you put it against a wall. Well, in Java, it's actually a very different object. So that bug has been fixed, and now change reporting with the config wand now works correctly for all three configurations of sign. Hanging, standing, and wall-mounted signs are all now properly reporting their information. And we have lecterns are now updated to correctly output a book contents both for written and unwritten, rather signed and unsigned books. The flag in the engine is written and unwritten, but actually it turns out the data that's stored within this book and that book are considerably different. So it turns out the contents reported for a written book or a signed book, as we would actually call it, was a little bit different. But now you will find that the contents of the book are now properly reported as well. We're also now adding the author and the title of the book. So if it has been signed and written, then the title and author will be submitted in the response as well. So we can take that book, and you'll note that if we were to put a unsigned book, then it simply omits that particular data, and we get just the contents. So that is a correction to the previous edition. I can't remember if it was signed or unsigned that was returning the uglier data. I believe it was a signed book that was ugly. But now you'll notice that we do also have dispensers and droppers are now inventory reporting items. And so now you can see in not exactly real time, but close to the contents of these inventory reporting entities. So all 6 of these types of block containers are now change reporting. And as we mentioned blocks, we now have 2 more events. In our post block, we have the place, the use, and now the break event is also another method. So you can hand out a certain number of these blocks and detect when they've been placed, and when they are broken, they do not drop the block. Even in gameplay, there is no way to drop that block. That's been a mechanic from the beginning. I may add that to the config file for that to be an optional feature in the future. But as far as I am concerned, most of the gameplay features that I want to implement, there may be 1 or 2 things. I think a reportable book that you could send the contents of your book in hand might be a nice feature. But really, there's not many other things that I think need to go within the scope of this particular mod, so it is coming up to feature complete. I think a few mob entity responses like on die or on damage may be good to report, so we may be adding that in the next release. But definitely go ahead and update for the bug fix on the wall signs. And I'm going to go ahead and release another video shortly with just some rambling and some thoughts about what we're going to go ahead and do going forward, at least on this channel or in the immediate future. And I hope you all enjoyed. Go ahead and update if you have this installed, and enjoy your time. I hope you make something interesting with this. Bye bye.